you're feeling lonely today, come along and throw your cares away. We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Hello and welcome to a special version of Xero Uncut with our special intro there, celebrating the life of Bray Wyatt or Wyndham Rotunda after the sad news that yesterday he had passed away. Obviously I'm Xero as normal.
And I'm Bobby, like usual. And usually I come into this with, high spirits, messing around. We both do, but not the time for that.
No, it's not. No, definitely not. No.
24 hours ago, I would have never imagined doing this show.
No.
It's heartbreaking, to be completely honest. I know I met the man, as you can see in the intro. But you as a wrestling fan, you never want to go through this, especially a man at his age, a man who's very current. And it's just a heartbreaking situation all around.
Yeah. It was very sad. Obviously, we thought we had to do a little tribute because, of course, he's current wrestler and that. And to be fair, even with all the hating that the Bray used to get, he's still. At the end of the day, he was still a good person. He was really talented and stuff like that. So. We have to do something here at Xero, and this is from the whole Xero team, and that for this one. So we just thought we'd just jump onto here, do a couple of best moments and stuff, just talk about some moments that we enjoyed and stuff like that, really, and just remember Bray Wyatt, how we would want to, how we would want to remember him, how other people would want to remember him. So, I know that Bobby's got some memories in that way he wanted to share and some moments.
I'll just throw this out there before I get into that. I do know Bray Wyatt had some haters. Everyone does. I can't imagine anybody would have wished this on him. Just no matter how much, if you hate the guy, whatever. It's not something that is the ordinary, and but I. Just like Brody Lee, I will never forget the moment I found out he passed away. I was stunned beyond belief. I was in my kitchen. What?
Yeah.
Bobby?
Oh, yeah, I was just about to ask you.
I'll go into it. I'm in my kitchen. My mom's asking me about something. I see the tweet notification. I open it, and at first... what I read was Mike Rotunda, all that. And at first, in my head, I said, oh, Mike Rotunda passed away. That's where my brain went at first. Because I was like, all right, Mike Rotunda's a bit older. I don't know how old he is off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that was where my mind first went. And then I saw Wyndham Rotunda has passed away. And my eyes almost popped out of my head. And I was like, oh my God, Bray Wyatt passed away. And my mom was like, what? She's not a wrestling fan, but she knows who he is. Yeah. And then my dad was like, what? And like I said, just like Brody Lee. I'll never forget it, and just my stomach went, ugh. Like, I know I didn't know the man. I met the man once, but you get that. It's a heartbreaking feeling because the man is a father of 4, a husband, and he was 36 years old. It's not supposed to happen like that.
No.
That's not the time for you to check out. And yeah, going into some of the best moments I have, and Xero,
so
jump.
I've got some images here.
Yeah, like I said, jump in if you have any moments that I missed. This is the time.
So I might as well bring the first one up then. So we got this one there.
One of the more recent ones from him. This is one of the last times we saw him. Raw 30 when he beat up LA Knight, and Undertaker fed Knight to him, and Undertaker kind of put him over. And in a moment, we don't know what Taker said to Bray Wyatt. Taker kind of hinted at it, but Bray Wyatt did indeed say, I'm not sure when that interview aired, but he did indeed say he would take it to the grave with him.
And he has.
He definitely. We didn't expect it to be 6 months later, but he did indeed take it to the grave with him. Raw 30 was sick. That moment was sick.
All I want to say on that as well is I kind of agree with you, and that one was pretty good. And what I'm pretty happy for is that he got to experience that moment. So that basically he got that moment with Undertaker, because even obviously I'm not a wrestler and stuff like that. Well, neither of us are wrestlers, but I guess even wrestlers obviously have like their idols and stuff like that, and like people who they would really admire. And doing a segment with the Undertaker is big, no matter who you are and stuff. So so getting that before obviously anything really, it's that must have made him feel like really good, and I'm really glad that he actually managed to have that moment.
For sure. And like I said, that was one of the last times we saw him on TV, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I kind of looked into it. I believe the last time we saw him on TV was when he was saying he's got the winner of Lashley Lesnar. Because I believe that was... Well, I mean, that was
before Mania, wasn't
it? Yeah, this was right after the Chamber, the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
And I believe the next time it was a pre-recorded, the Muscle Man dance, that video, but that was an old video that was just reused with Bobby Lashley. So the last time we saw him live and in person was that, and obviously that match never came to be because, well, we know he had heart issues. So I thought that would be a cool one to throw in because that was a sick moment, in my opinion.
Yeah. Obviously, technically, his last opponent was LA Knight, so basically that must be really hard on LA Knight as well. Think about it, his last opponent, and he must be hitting him hard at the moment. It's got to be.
Nobody wants to be last opponent in these circumstances, for sure.
Yeah. So
did Bray only have one match after his return? Is that the only match?
Which was the Rumble. That was it. Which was the Royal Rumble match, which was the Pitch Black match. He done a house show, I know, because one of the last ones he done was actually a house show against LA Knight. But that's what it was.
So televised, he only had one match in his return. I was thinking about this last night. It was not to go off on a tangent, but whatever. It was less than a year ago he returned.
Yeah.
Less than a year. October of 2022. The crowd lost their absolute minds when he returned, as did I. And it's just like, what happened, man?
Yeah.
It's just I could have never imagined to this. It's not even 24 hours later, and I'm still in shock right now, man.
We'll go into so your second one then, which you want to talk about, then was this one. I know. Did you obviously put the images up? So.
Yep. Yeah, when he finally won the big one, and this is a two-parter kind of. He wins the Chamber. He wins his first WWE title. And then he cut that promo. I believe it was the night after, or maybe the SmackDown after. I'm not sure. he's supposed to be a bad guy, but the crowd is eating it up, and they're chanting, "Thank you, Wyatt," and "You deserve it," and you could see it on his face. Like he was like, "This is awesome," and it's just, yeah. I mean, I'll never forget that moment. I'll never forget any of these moments now, for sure.
No. This is moments that you'll never forget. Now, obviously knowing as well, how his career ended when that quite tragically. So, yeah, and then I know we've got this one. Then obviously that's
the one we've mentioned. I like that picture just because of the light. The night he returned, Extreme Rules 2022. That Philly crowd lost their absolute minds. I lost my mind at my buddy's house watching it because we were wondering. We were like, "Is Bray Wyatt coming?" And then the lights went out, and we were like, "Oh, he's here!" And then he takes off the mask. Crowd goes berserk. And like I said, it was one of the craziest returns. Everybody was hopped. Everyone was popping for that. I mean,
that was the first time as well he used Shatter, wasn't it? The new tune Shatter, which we obviously only heard a few times because of that one.
Did they use Shatter that night?
Yeah, they used Shatter. That was the first time he used Shatter, and then he only used it a couple of times, and then that was it. After that,
I remember he used it for his first SmackDown promo. 5 days later or 6 days later, or whatever that was. And this is a kind of in the moment, but I know this isn't exactly him, but great theme songs.
Yeah,
if it wasn't Shadow's great. The Wyatt family theme is great. It's We're Here. Catching Flies. I'm not sure of the name.
Living in Fear. Yeah, that was Living in Fear.
The Fiend theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that was in what's their names? Code Orange.
Code Orange, yeah. They're the same ones who done Shatter as well.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it's not necessarily him, but all of his songs absolutely great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Then we got this one then, which you wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Another infamous moment with Taker. WrestleMania 31 in, I believe it was San Francisco. It was kind of like a passing of the torch, but even though Taker won. Still though, it was like, and Bray was working hurt that night, so I was, I don't even remember how old I was. 2015. I was 19. Yeah, 2015. I was 19. So I'm watching this WrestleMania. I just see him crab walk, and then Taker pops up, and they just look at each other. I'm like, oh,
that's amazing.
I'm like, that's cool. That's I like that. I like that. I was like, it was, WrestleMania 31, San Francisco, that one. Just simply a cool moment where you just, in the moment, you're like, oh, that's cool. It's really, really dope.
Yeah, big time, and then last one, then which you wanted to put on that one.
I mean, everybody knows where that's from. SummerSlam 2019, The Fiend debuting against Finn Balor and destroying Finn Balor. I came home from Six Flags. It's an amusement park here in the United States, and we watched SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I was exhausted, quite frankly, but my eyes were glued to the TV for that entrance, that character, and I was like, oh, he came out with the lantern. I think he came out with I think that's when he started doing the old Bray Wyatt lantern.
Yeah.
Like he killed Bray Wyatt, and it was like, oh, this is really, really cool. And no, like, iconic. And then there were some moments I left off or I had not pictured. If I'll go through them right now. The Firefly Funhouse match.
With Cena. That was good.
That was during the heart of COVID, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was kind of like it's kind of like a fever dream, to be completely honest.
Yeah,
When you
but
were
it was so
watching
good. It was so good, wasn't it? Yeah.
you're like watching it, you're like, huh? Yeah, I should have got a picture of that, but it was, Bray winning his first the debut of the Wyatt family, of course.
Yeah.
Can never
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah. No.
Especially him and Brody.
Yeah.
The face off with the Shield.
Yeah.
Just his promos in general. He knew how to
Yeah.
get your attention for sure. And
Yeah.
I did get to meet him, as you saw in the intro. This was Dallas 2022. I met him at WrestleCon. Really nice guy. And I'm not one
Mm.
to say they're a nice guy if they aren't. I will brutally be honest and say not a great guy if I
Yeah.
had to, but really, really nice guy. And he
Yeah.
chatted with me for a couple minutes, and just down to earth dude, and it was cool. And yeah, I'm glad I got to meet him when I did, knowing
Yeah.
what happened a year and a half later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's,
Or almost a
yeah.
year and a half, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I do meet all these people, because you never know. And this is a prime example. I did get to meet him before his passing, and it was cool. It was cool for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely a good dude. Definitely loved in the locker room.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see Booker T's
Yeah.
reaction?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching that one earlier. Yeah, that wasn't really yeah, it wasn't really good, was it?
I don't know why I did that to myself watching that, but you can absolutely see the heartbreak and confusion
Yeah.
in his eyes as it
Yeah,
was told to
definitely.
him, and all he could get out was, "Did you just say Bray Wyatt died?" And it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It was
yeah,
it wasn't that must have been a really bad thing to experience, whilst you're live on your podcast, and that, it
Yeah.
must have been, for you.
Yeah. Miro posted a video saying like, Miro was there for tryouts and he had to take a certain move a bunch of times, and this was years before he got signed. And then Miro came back later and ran into Bray, and Bray's like, "Oh, I remember you, man." And Miro was like, "Wait, you remember me?" He's like, "Oh, cool." And he's just like, he's like, "Yeah, when you're the rookie, you're the low man on the totem pole. It was nice to have a friend like Bray Wyatt." And Bray, Zelina Vega said Bray Wyatt started a chant for her while she was doing her tryout match, and she's like, Thea Trinidad, she's like, "That definitely helped my cause." Braun Strowman, obviously, Braun Strowman is very close with him.
Yeah.
I just Cena. I haven't seen a Bo Dallas post yet, and I imagine I won't for a few days.
Yeah, we probably won't. No, I don't think we will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's so many good like memories and stuff like that. I mean, I've only got two big ones really, which I can like really say like sort of favorite ones.
Okay.
Ones which we haven't covered. One of them was, I can't remember when exactly it was. I think it was Mania 32. Basically, it was with The Rock, where
that was 32.
Yeah, one. Whereas the crowd were cheering Wyatt against The Rock. One of the only people to be cheered with the when you're doing a segment with The Rock, because normally it'd be The Rock who's obviously getting cheered, but and the weird thing is Bray had literally just turned heel as well, and that Bray had literally just turned heel, and he was still got cheered doing that face off against Dwayne. Basically, that was a that was a moment. My second one, I need to play the video for really, because it's a it's a moment which can only really be explained via video. Let me just get the right one up. I believe it is this one. You'll see why it's a favorite moment possibly in it, and that if it's this video. I've got so many videos on it, I need to make sure it's the right one, so bear with me. Wrong one.
Oh, I was like, what happened?
See the Thunderdome era one where Vince was in the ring and face to face with the Fiend.
I believe that was the first Thunderdome episode.
Yeah, was ya?
Because I remember I'm like, is the Fiend coming for Vince?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I was so confused. In that moment, I was so confused. I was like,
Yeah, that was a moment because of course you had Vince open up the show with the whole, welcome to the Thunderdome era and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you have Bray come out, and I mean, well, obviously it's the Fiend, but again, as I was saying earlier, that's a moment. You only have those special moments in time, and Bray's worked with The Rock, John Cena, Undertaker, Vince McMahon. Absolute legends in the business. You don't get that every day. Just as like unless you're really like trusted and somebody who who's really like big, I would say you don't get those moments. And as I said earlier on to you, I'm just glad that obviously during his time in the business and everything like that he got to experience those moments, whilst he was obviously still employed and everything like that. And then obviously even when he did get released for that time frame, he was still really popular. Fans were still willing to really follow him. And then, he came back, and then obviously, unfortunately we had all those issues and stuff like that.
Wasn't meant to be.
So no.
We should mention this. I should have mentioned this to you off air. All his proceeds for merch go to the family. So if you are considering buying Bray Wyatt merch, which I definitely am, I'm giving it a few days only because I'm waiting to see if they release a special shirt, because AEW did. That's what I'm waiting for. AEW did that for Brody Lee, so I'm just giving it a few days. But if you're a Bray Wyatt fan or just want to support the family, go buy his merch. All the proceeds go to the family, to JoJo, and to his children. As of right now, Xero definitely knows more than me, but I have no idea what's going on for SmackDown, and I want to keep it that way. Like I said, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to watch it live. Bought movie tickets well in advance, and obviously did not see this coming. But this is once usually when I get home from the movies, I skip around on SmackDown. Whatever. But this one I definitely cannot and will not skip any parts.
Well, all I'll say, obviously, without giving away much, is you're prepared for an emotional night, and that it's going to be very. It's been described backstage by people as it's going to be a very hard night with what they've got, and there's not going to be a dry eye. There's not going to be a dry eye in the house by the end of it. And obviously, it's a joint celebration with Terry Funk as well, to obviously celebrate his life as well, who obviously unfortunately passed away the day before,
Wednesday.
Wasn't it? So that was Wednesday.
They were back-to-back days. Do you happen to know where SmackDown is tonight, off the top of your head?
Yes, I had it earlier. It's where's KFC Arena? Is it KFC Arena? Hold on, I had it earlier. Louisville, Kentucky.
Southern. Okay, I was.
Yeah, it's Louisville, Kentucky.
Southern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's in Louisville, Kentucky. But I do know that obviously again not giving away anything, but a lot of people have flown in off their own backs.
I know of no one who's flown in. Now, of course, that's my choice. I'm not going on social media for that reason. But I'm sure there will be some names where I'm like, okay, I see why you're here, and for good reason. So SmackDown tonight.
There's going to be one thing. I won't obviously mention what it's going to be, but all I'll say is if it's what I've been told, then it's going to be, how can I put it really? It's going to be emotional, like really emotional. If it's who they've got doing it to what I've been told, and then it still goes ahead, then it's going to be emotional. But yeah, so everyone make sure
and,
the drink celebration.
And I'm still throwing it out there. Bray Wyatt, headlining member of the 2024 WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's only right. Listen, I'm still waiting for Batista to go in. I'm a massive Batista fan. You all know that. I'm willing to push Batista for a year for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. One thing I want to see is, obviously, this isn't a spoiler by any means, so I just want to say it. But what I want to see is either tonight or over the coming days, they've got to do a segment with Bo Dallas, whenever he's obviously up for it, coming on in and like placing Bray's stuff in the middle of the ring, like maybe his boots and hat and stuff like that. Fiend mouse, maybe.
I had this idea. Now, will it happen? I'm not sure. It's completely up to Bo Dallas. I wouldn't mind seeing Bo Dallas take on Bobby Lashley. It was supposed to be Bray Wyatt's next fight. Honestly, my first guess would have been Bo Dallas versus Braun Strowman. But Braun is currently sidelined, and it's not like it's that injury he can just fight through for the night. So I think the next best option would be to be the guy that was going to face Bray. And
Lashley.
I think that would be cool.
Bo have to win. That would be the thing. Is they've got to let Bo have to win, obviously. Of
course. I mean, listen, I understand Bobby Lashley's doing this stable thing. Everyone's gonna know why Bo Dallas won. Everyone, if that match happens, obviously it won't stall Lashley. It won't stall anything.
No.
It's just like the AEW tribute show they did for Jay Briscoe. They did Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal, and of course Jay Lethal's supposed to be the heel, but Jay Lethal's wearing the Jay Briscoe shirt and like crying. So it's like this storyline doesn't matter tonight. Wins and losses don't matter. It's just a nice good old tribute show, and it doesn't matter. But again, that's completely up to Bo.
Just one thing I've just actually seen whilst we've been on air, or whilst we've been recording this. Do you know the Allstate Arena? Where's the Allstate Arena?
Atlanta? No.
Atlanta, yeah. They've changed all of their signs outside to the Bray Wyatt thing and saying "Window Return to Bray Wyatt," remembering him and stuff like that. And they've changed they've took down all their advertising signs outside and replaced it all with pictures of Bray and saying remembering and stuff like that. So that obviously shows like the mark of respect there. And
why is that? Is that where Raw's going to be?
I don't know. They've just done it by the looks of it. They've just done it because obviously.
Class move regardless.
Yeah. Also, as well, it's obviously I know, like I said earlier, Bray's not really like that. You wouldn't really consider him like a rock or anyone like that, really. But the news actually made the UK media over here. It's been in our news on the TV, in the newspapers, on the radio, everything over here. It's gone worldwide.
I can confirm. I had friends texting me who don't watch wrestling. Saying R.I.P. Bray and what happened, because it got out there. Everyone was like, "What?" Because they see the death age and they're like, "Wait, what happened?" Like, And at first, news did not come out of how he did it, of how it happened. But indeed, we should mention this. It was indeed a heart attack. Caused by COVID complications, and
such a way to go in it.
It was. We kind of. It's kind of weird. We kind of knew. We saw the signs. Like it was announced he had COVID. And it's like, all right, cool. We'll see Bray Wyatt in like a few weeks tops, whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Yeah.
Then a few months go by, and you're like, wait, where's Bray Wyatt? Like, what is
Yeah.
happening? And then rumors came out. It was like, oh, he's not cleared. He has an illness, and it's like, well, COVID only takes like 10 days.
Yeah.
So, like, where is he? And then it's like, well, now we know it got to his heart, and obviously he wasn't going to get cleared with a heart issue. And then it just, as it looked like he was on his way back, something happened.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. We don't, nobody sort of knows the full story, but yeah, it's obviously it's come down from there. So yeah, it's it is such a shame, obviously, what's happened, and yeah, such a young age as well. Like I said, it's quite weird actually, because I'm 35, so it's literally 1 year off from what I am. I'm literally 1 year younger than him, and it's it could happen to obviously anyone, and it really does put things into perspective in that. And yeah, I do just want to say as well, whilst we're on here, because I did say that obviously, and I am going to I do want to reiterate this as well, is basically that because I'm in some group chats and that, especially C Wrestling's Discord server. I hope C Wrestling is holding up all right, because, of course, I know how close he was with Bray. Everyone in there as well. I hope they're all right throughout all of this, and a couple of others as well, such as Jody, who I know was really close, and Brittany, and
I'm sorry. Who is this again? Who is this?
C Wrestling. C Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah, C Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And that.
Okay. But still.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So yeah. I'm good friends with I'm good friends with a couple of them, and that, and yeah, and it's kind of the whole server's dedicated to Bray Wyatt and stuff like that. So it's I know it's hitting a lot of people rather hard at the moment, and that especially in that community. So again, I hope everyone's all right and everything like that. And also as well, I know that I did mention this to a couple of people earlier on as well, who are at WWE tonight, working backstage, such as wrestlers or whatever. So if they are listening, if they're not, it doesn't matter, because obviously because of this situation. But if they are listening, then, again, all of us at Xero hope you're all right and everything like that, we hope it's going to be a good night. And, as everyone always says, just remember the good times rather than the bad times. Just remember the good times with Bray and for that, and all the laughs and everything that everyone shared, really. And that, I know that ended a bit morbid and everything, and a bit obviously somber, but it's it's to do with the stream. So yeah, well, we won't do the normal bit this week, because obviously this is just a special, and it's obviously to do with Bray. But yeah, anything else that you obviously wanted to say then before we finish up, because it's only a short stream tonight?
Last thing I had was I found out the news very quickly, so I had to break the news to a lot of people, and that's
it's hard.
Yeah, and people are like, "Wait, you're kidding, right?" And I'm like, I wish I was, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I really do. I had my one buddy call me. He's like, "I just saw your story," and because I posted R.I.P. Bray Wyatt, and he goes, "You're serious?" And I'm like, I wish I was kidding. I really wish this was a sick joke, but no. I had to reread it a couple times just to make sure I was reading it correctly.
Yeah.
But then everyone started picking up on it. And,
yeah. I know a lot of people thought it was a joke, or like that Triple H had been hacked or something like that, but then it went officially onto the
Triple H.
Yeah. Well, the thing was as well was people only started to realize it was true when it was actually posted on WWE.com, because it's on there as well. And that this is the first time as well, which I've personally noticed, that they've actually announced a death on WWE.com, and that this hasn't been done since, like, they don't obviously Eddie and Chris Benoit. Obviously, they were the last two that got. They got
I
mentioned.
think they might have done Benoit, but obviously that was pulled very quickly for the reasons.
Yeah, but this is the first time since I think they said since 07 technically where they've done sort of something like this where it's going to be tributes and a whole show sort of like dedicated to one person really, and all the stuff actually on WWE.com and stuff, and nothing's been seen like this magnitude wise for about 15 years it's been. So that shows sort of like how many people Bray sort of touched and inspired and everything like that really. So yeah, but I'm just going to end it with just saying, well, rest in peace Bray. Condolences to the family, especially Jojo and the kids, and Bo and everyone like that.
R.I.P. Bray Wyatt for sure.
Okay.
A man who was taken way too soon.
Yeah, and
that's all I can say at this point.
Yeah, and all I want to say is obviously like at SmackDown tonight, I hope that we obviously get to see the Fireflies, as Bray would say, light up that arena and that drive most of the night or whatever, and that. So
I'm about to pause everything on social media so I don't get spoiled. Well, maybe I have to wait for that. And then I'm gonna do it anyway. I don't want to be spoiled on anything.
Yeah, I would start doing it now because I know there's a lot of info coming out because I'm actually receiving stuff as we're on it. So
I'm gonna
I'll do it now. Yeah, and that roughly
for sure.
But this is this is Xero signing out, and we'll see you for our normal uncut show on Wednesday, hopefully.
I'm Bobby, and like I said,
I will just say as well that I will obviously just say as well that there won't actually be any Wrestle Buddy stream this week. They have actually asked me to announce that. There's our Wrestle Buddy stream on Monday's been cancelled due to the events of obviously what's happened. So
completely off, like not even on Wednesday.
It might be moved to Wednesday. We're not sure yet. It could be. Okay. It might be Wednesday. We're still obviously in talks. It depends on Alex and a couple of the others, basically, because I know it's hit them hard. So we're going to. But for the minute, there might not be a Wrestle Buddy stream, but we'll let people know on that.
I'll keep tabs for sure.
Yeah. So once again, this is Xero signing out. Let's see them Fireflies burn bright tonight like this. That's what we need tonight.
That's
the arena. And that. Yeah.
Be prepared to cry tonight, folks.
Big time.
It's ain't gonna be for the ones with weak stomachs. So
no. And and just remember, even knowing that Bray's obviously gone, he's still got the whole world in his hands, and that's to end it with that.